Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to do something a little bit special. The game I'm playing right now is System Shock, is the demo for the System Shock remake. The original System Shock is a game that came out in the mid-90s and it was a very influential game. And it influenced games like Thief and Deus Ex and Prey, which is a game that I played on stream earlier in the fall. And now there's a remake of the game coming out. It's coming out later this year, I believe. The remake, I should say, already has a demo version, and the demo version has one of the most special atmospheres I've ever seen in a game. Any game, ever. It is a game that is set on a space station in the future. Sorry. It's a game that is set on a space station in the future, and things have gone wrong on this space station. It is filled with blood and gore and guts and ugly mutants that are trying to tear my head off. But the game still is one of the most relaxing games I've ever played, to the point where sometimes I load up this demo just to be able to experience the atmosphere. It is a very peculiar mix of things, and that is why I decided to do this as a bit of a relaxing ASMR stream. I have checked the audio levels beforehand, so I hope that they will be pleasant to listen to. If you think the audio levels are uncomfortable at any point during the game, either from the game volume or from my voice, then please let me know and I can adjust that accordingly. Hello Evie, welcome to the chat. I'm sorry I ignored your message for so long. I just wanted to get the get the intro out of the way, so to speak. So, I think we should just get ready to get started. I'm going to set the combat difficulty to the highest level because Mama didn't raise a quitter. The other difficulties I'm going to leave as they are. This one is not even possible to change. Hello Starpy, welcome to the chat. I very much appreciated your message spam before stream. It gave me hope and courage. Thank you very much. Let's get started. The year is 2072. You are a hacker caught attempting to access protected files concerning Citadel Station, a space station owned by the Trioptimum Corporation. Edward Diego, a Trioptimum executive, offers to drop all charges against you in exchange for hacking and removing the ethical constraints of Shodan, the artificial intelligence that controls the station. He also promises you a valuable military-grade neural implant. Your implant surgery has been successful, and you've been put into a 6-month healing coma. Hello T-Slug, welcome to the chat. Note to self, don't become a hacker in 2072. I agree. This is a good advice. I will relay it to all viewers. Don't become a hacker in the year 2072, nor in the year 2077. I've heard they made a different game about that experience. You can also reliably count on corporations in the future to always be very evil. That is a predictability of the world. I'll be lurking because medicine makes me tired. I completely understand. I very much appreciate you lurking. I hope you feel better soon. Thank you very much for stopping by in chat, Evie. I hope you have a great evening. So, here we are on Citadel Station after 6 months of coma. As you can see, the game is very helpful in pointing out what we're looking at. Right now, I am observing rubberized paneling. And over on this wall, we have medical diagnostic tools. This is very useful, completely has zero gameplay purpose, but it is very detailed. So, let me look around. I have played this demo more times than I can count, so I can pretty much find my way around here blindfolded. We are picking up a medipatch that will come very handy later when we will be fighting some rabid mutants and angry robots. The game is also very helpful in informing me that I have pressed a button. games like these tend to have melee weapons that you can use to defend yourself, and this game is no different. I think this was probably actually the game that started the trend back in the mid-90s. Let's see what we have here. System Analyzer version 1. Multimedia data reader. Looks very high-tech. That is already taken care of. Welcome to the chat, Puppet. I hope you'll be enjoying the stream. Please let me know if the audio levels are in any way unsatisfactory, and I will try to resolve that immediately. So, in this email from Rebecca Lansing, we've learned that this station is about to destroy Earth unless we do something about it. So we have some high stakes established right from the get-go. Here is our first enemy in the game. This is Evil Trash Can. I'm going to have to dispatch it with my pipe. And first enemy of the game has been taken care of. So this is a surgical bed. You can use it as many times as you want to refill your health to maximum. I am only going to use it once, because otherwise it's cheating. That was almost a bit sad, Ken. Well, trash cans do unfortunately have a very unacknowledged and ungrateful existence, even in the future. This trash can has another pipe and a medipatch, which is the only thing I'll need. Let's put that on quick slot 4, which is where I'm used to having it. Let's listen to what David Honig has to say.
Shodan has locked down the elevators. Irrespective of the security on the level, we'll be able to gain access to restricted areas, get the lifts moving again. She says smashing cameras, taking the medical CPU nodes offline will help, but I don't see the point. This thing is everywhere.
So we need to reduce the security level to be able to gain more access. I was apparently also wrong before. The robot did not have a pipe. This is my own inventory, and the robot did not have a pipe. I get a pipe, the robot gets nothing. That is the equality in the future. This is a security camera. Let's break it. You can see the level of security has now gone down to 96%. This one is a little bit out of reach. Doing a jump strike works like a charm. Oh, hello, Bun Bun. Welcome to the chat. It's very good to see you here again. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Bleak existence for trash can robots in 2072. I agree. More like raise grr. I agree. Let's plug this note into my knuckles so I can read it. Just in case I wake up and I overhear that a security squad is on their way, the door code to exit the surgery suite is 451. The 451 thing has become like a running gag in this type of game, where games like Prey and Dishonored, which are fairly modern games, also use 451 as their first code for the first locked door that you encounter. I'm going to be using this power station to recharge my energy. Wait, when did I bits? Hell, I'm getting old. You did that during the Age of Empires stream, and it was very appreciated, so thank you very much for that. Alright, so we've learned that the code to get out of here is 451. Let's see what's on the other side of this door. It is an angry dude with bug eyes and bad hair. I am going to give him a little bit of a bonk on the head. So fighting the mutants like this is a little trickier than it looks. You have to time your strikes so you don't get hit in return. Oh, it appears I blew his mind. It's time to move on. Yes, hitting the mutants is surprisingly difficult sometimes.
Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing stage went well. Today is the 6th day of November, year 2072. You are currently in the healing suites, located on the 1st level. Level 2
really?
contains the research laboratories. 3 houses the Department of Maintenance, and the storage cells are on level 4. The flight deck is on level 5. Level 6 holds crew facilities and executive suites. And level 7 is system engineering.
I'm sorry for the lack of progress, I'm just waiting for the obviously evil robot to stop speaking.
The bridge is located on level 9, and energy systems on level R. All levels can be accessed by the elevator in Alpha Quadrant. We hope you have a pleasant stay on Citadel Station.
So, Shodan is probably... Did they say sweets? I am unsure if they said sweets, but I do know a place where we can get some sweets later. I am going to give this obviously evil cyborg robot doctor a little bonk on the head. I missed. That's better. I'm doing this because robot has medi patches that I need. These people, I'm a little unclear what's happening to them, but they are beyond my help right now, so we're gonna have to move on. Let's listen to what Mira Stackhouse has to say.
Whoever finds this, take out the cameras and the CPU nodes, and you'll gain more control over the level you're on. Shodan won't see everything. Do better than I. I told you. I told you we won't be part. I told you we wouldn't be apart for long.
So, it seems like Mira Stackhouse had a bad day at work. And we got reiterated information that we need to take out the CPU nodes and cameras. I wish I had the ability to turn on subtitles for the spoken dialogue, but it is not implemented in the game yet. There is an option for it, but it doesn't actually work. Okay, so the cool thing about this game is that it's very open-ended. We can go in many different directions at once. This is only a small portion of the map. So I'm going to be exploring the map, and right now I have found a small storage crate with 2 human skulls inside of it. This is also very common in the year 2072. Hey man, I gotta go. It's super laggy, my internet. I'm very sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you were able to stop by for a little bit. The stream VOD will be available on this channel and also on YouTube later on if you want to check it out afterwards. I'm guessing it will probably not be very long, maybe an hour and a half at most, if you feel like checking it out afterwards. Take care, have a great day, bye. I'm just checking that everything is working the way it should. Yeah, it looks good. Let's proceed. Here we have a guy who is very hungry. Unfortunately for him, I am even hungrier. I have not done a great job timing my hits so far, but at least I managed to kill my opponent. So, let's see what you're carrying. We have another email from Althea Grossman.
Status report. I've led a small group of survivors across the radioactive trench in Beta Quadrant and to the operations base that Abe mentioned. Being the highest-ranking manager present, I sent Keith and his group to look for supplies. Darcy is working on a plan to disable the mining laser from his office on research. No updates from him yet. We're safe here. But for how long?
So, apparently there's a radioactive trench somewhere on this space station, if you needed further confirmation that it's not a great place to work. I'm doing a terrible job timing my hits on this mutant so far. There we go. I do have a pistol, as you've noticed, but ammunition is very scarce, so I'm trying to rely on the lead pipe as much as possible. If I recall correctly, there is a dude around the corner to the left. That is correct. I am taking more damage from these guys than I would like, but I am still alive.
If you are hearing this, we have set up an operations base to assist in resisting Shodan. Come to Beta Quadrant, and you will find the medical research vaults have been turned into a radioactive trench.
Ah, there's the radioactive trench again. So, Beta Quadrant is where the radioactive trench is. And apparently, possibly also survivors, although I have my doubts about that. It is true that a lot of people and mutants both have a bad day at this station. I'm now going to show you the most 90s thing in existence. This door is locked in cyberspace. Therefore, we're going to have to go into cyberspace to unlock this door. I'm just going to destroy this camera first. So, I want everyone to be aware that going into cyberspace is a little bit loud, so headphone users, beware. So, this is what hackers in the year 2072 get up to. They will fly around in a three-dimensional literal cyberspace to defeat various antivirus software, I suppose. Our objective in this cyberspace is to unlock a door in the real space. And as you can imagine, navigating this space is ever so slightly confusing. If I recall correctly, we're going in this direction first. I was not kidding when I said that this was the most 1990s thing imaginable. I'm not entirely sure what this thing I just destroyed is supposed to represent, but I take it it's some kind of locking algorithm. Let's see if I recall correctly which direction to head. There we go, we have now unlocked the door. The music is very catchy. I especially appreciate all the different colors that are used to represent cyberspace. This is the yellow part of the computer, apparently. Imagine programming this hacking interface. How shall we represent a lock? How about a swirling light in a tunnel made of squares? I do believe that that was the exact thought process behind designing this hacker interface. Yes. Now, the door that was previously locked in the cyberspace is now open, and we can access an extra armory. And get access to this weapon. This is a mag pulse. It is good for killing robots. So I'm going to use it for exactly that. We can keep it on number 5 for now, that is okay. I should probably also use one of these medi-patches. One of the good things about working on the station in the year 2072 is that you can heal your injuries in about 20 seconds using little nicotine patches. I'm still going to conserve my ammo and attempt to bonk this guy on the head. More successfully this time. There we go. I have successfully decapitated like 6 or 7 of these guys so far. Let's see, we're about to run into tougher enemies soon, if I remember correctly. This is a cyborg guy. That was not an excellent way to solve that encounter. But at least I now have a berserk patch, or several. This enemy does actually drop a weapon, but it's... No, it doesn't. No, I thought it dropped the weapon, but it's destroyed. You can't usually use the weapons that the enemies drop. Let's see now what happens next. As I said, there's no specific order you need to do this map in. Some areas are unlocked later than others, but a lot of things are accessible at the same time. I have unfortunately angered the big robot with the laser, and I'm now going to use my secret anti-robot weapon. I'm charging this for a triple pulse. Good night. I'm not entirely sure what the mobile laser was doing here in the first place before this place was taken over by evil robots, but it was not particularly helpful. Some more cameras for us to destroy. Once the security level drops low enough, we can proceed to the next level, and we can also get access to some secrets and hidden items and stuff like that, which is nice. Let me see where we are. This is like a central hub area where we have access to all of the other areas. If I recall correctly, I would like to go in this direction. Maybe we should open up the gate to Gamma Sector. It died very politely. A lot of enemies in this game die politely. Sometimes with a lot of blood and guts coming out, but still without making much of a fuss. Let's see if I can hit both of these guys with one grenade. That would be awesome. That was actually fucking epic. More cameras. So, it appears that they had a very relaxing greenhouse with some dead bodies, unfortunately. But that is a very common sight on the station.
Another bloated day. Carl reported
Feelings depleted. Necron is your oasis in the
he and
stars.
Todd got separated on the way back. Carl watched on the security monitor as Todd was dragged into a region bay only to come out as some cyborg. Carl marked the room with the word "here" before he ran. If we had the override that Kevin had when he vanished, we might have stood a chance, but we don't. We have 20 people left. Supplies are low. If we don't push forward, we're dead. Maybe someone else should have been in charge.
So, I did tell you earlier that there's actually possible to get snacks from this game, but unfortunately I am out of quarters.
Necron is not authorized to extend credit.
I'm going to attempt some percussive maintenance. it is still a relaxing greenhouse. I do agree. There are many things in this game that are relaxing despite some gruesome sights. For example, this is one of the most blood-soaked rooms I've ever seen in a video game. But the view is fantastic. Let's listen to what Karena Ozark had to say. Dinner without good table manners. I can agree with that.
Screaming finally stopped. But I was scraping at the door. Keith, Jen, George, Ryan, they're gone. They went without yourself. Coming back. I'm sorry.
Oops. I ended up taking a ton of damage. That was suboptimally handled, and now I'm actually out of healing, which is really bad. Well, these people had a very terrible final moments of their lives, but they had a very nice view. So, I guess you have to be grateful for the little things. Let's see if we can progress here. If I recall correctly, we will get a new weapon in this area.
Getting supplies from the west wing of medical cost us Hanson and Rains. At this rate, we're dead in hours rather than days. Weeks of loss after loss is taking its toll. We're going to rush the access corridor and reach the bridge. Take down Showdown. If we don't, then I'll make sure there isn't enough of me left to be used as spare parts.
Just like in real life, drinking a can of soda gives you 4% health. Let me see if I can use a grenade. That grenade was the least efficient grenade in the history of video games. And now I'm actually kind of in trouble. I'm going to attempt to use a berserk patch to dispatch of these fools. So, I am now completely tripping balls, and my swing will be a little harder. That should teach them not to mess with someone who is on drugs. Excuse me for 1 second, I'm just going to rearrange my phone so I can have my chat a little closer to my screen, so I don't have to look so far down every time I look at chat. These are indeed drug collars. I think that they are also a nice addition is these hallucinations that you get. I am now under attack by some kind of murder robot, and it's slicing me up. It's actually doing a significant amount of damage. I'm close to death, and I don't even have any soda to drink, so right now I am in a bit of trouble. At least I managed to find a secret compartment with some extra ammo in it. Luckily, we have now at least managed to find a new weapon. This is one of the coolest weapons in this game. It's called a spark beam, and it doesn't use ammunition. It instead uses the energy of the blue bar that I have in the top right, below my health bar. It has 3 different settings. One of them is low, one of them is high, and one of them is dangerous. I'm going to keep it on the low setting for now, and I will show you the other ones later. This game doesn't have a flashlight, and some areas are very dark, so I'm sorry if this stream shows up as very dark for you. Oh, hello. Now, if in case I don't feel like messing with this guy, I can just set the phasers to fuck his shit up. And I can annihilate him in one shot, which is extremely satisfying, but also very energy consuming. This is the regular high setting, and it consumes a proportionate amount of energy to the damage it does, so it is actually more worth it to use it, but it is not quite as satisfying. See. I think I might have to go a different way, because right now I am going to die if I continue on this path. If I recall correctly, there is a hidden compartment somewhere here. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, we need to lower the security on this floor, if I remember correctly, all the way down to 0 before we can access that room. So, in order to not die, I am going to try to find a different place, maybe with some medical supplies. Enemies do have a tendency to hide behind corners, so I am, in my old self-interest, leading a lot. This is an entire room that contains one soda and nothing else. That is very interesting. The game soundtrack is sort of randomly generated sometimes, and now it's decided to go completely quiet, which is unusual. Oh, here we have an evil robot spider on the floor. I know from experience that it has a flamethrower, so I'm going to try to kill it before it gets any closer. I'm gonna try to turn on some lights. I still have been unsuccessful in trying to find some healing, which is not great. Toilets in the future are at least very nice, and you can have the lid either up or down, which is a very high degree of customizability. I am certain the code for this armory is supposed to be somewhere, but I haven't been able to. I can't remember if that... Oops. Hello, my dudes. This is suboptimal. I'm going to need some more space to fight these guys. Oh, thankfully I had a lot of ammo. In the future, spiders are frequently equipped with flamethrowers. It is natural evolution, I believe, at work. Oops. Well, hello there. There are some enemies here as well. I don't really feel like fighting with them right now, so I'm just going to send this elevator back up. And then I'm going to find another way around. I'm trying to remember if one of the messages I picked up mentioned the door code for the armory. If that's the case, I don't remember it. Let's see if we can find... Whoops! Hello there. Let's see if we can find some more human skulls in one of these I'm somehow forgetting the controls of this game that I've played like 20 times. I am now very, very close to death. I'm actually going to save just so I don't have to restart all the way from the beginning if I die. Oops. Well, that was almost a self-fulfilling prophecy, I believe. A problem has been detected and your TCN 800 has been shut down to prevent damage to your cerebral cortex. Please stand by. Okay. I'm a little embarrassed right now. I have managed to complete this entire demo before on this difficulty level without dying. So, well, I appreciate the headpads very much. I'm going to try to activate them right now. Just give me a second. Oops, it appears the headpads have been misplaced. I'm going to attempt to correct for that in just a moment. Let me see. Here we go. The headpads is aiming for an invisible ninja that is sitting next to me. Give me 1 second. There we go. In addition to the relaxing atmosphere of the game, I also very much appreciate the relaxing headpads. I'm going to load the save, so we don't have to do all this again. Right. I should probably just leave this enemy alone. I don't think I can kill him without more health. So I'm going to go see if I can find something that can help me out instead. This door is broken beyond repair, even though it looks exactly the same as all other doors. Well, I am now down to almost no health. That's what happens when you allow headpads to distract you. So I'm now going to remove the headpads. I do very much appreciate them, however. Found another pistol. This game allows you to pick up several of the same type of weapon, but that also means that you can take the weapons you've picked up and empty it and then drop it, so you don't have to carry the extra inventory, you don't have to use the extra inventory space, which I think is a neat touch. V-mail. This is very futuristic. See, there was nothing else in here? No. I am quite literally down to 1% health. Sorry, I'm not able to see the chat anymore. I'm gonna try to reactivate that. Virtual mail, unlike other mail that is real. Right, let's see. A new access card, and this is another one of the spark beam weapons that I already have, so I'm not going to be needing that. Ah, managed to find a battery, which is really nice. I'm going to use that right away. Let's listen to what Nathan Darcy has to say.
Althea, I have a plan. The only way to stop the mining laser is to fire it into the station's own shields. I barely made it to my office, so you'll need to get up to the research level, get isotope X-22 for the shields, and get the safety override code for the laser in the research library. Head down to the reactor and use X-22 to power the shields. The laser can be fired from the research central control after you enter the safety override code number 2.
Don't you just hate it when you get interrupted just before you're about to tell everyone the important life-saving code? Let me see which other parts of the station we have yet to explore. Oh, hello there. The visual of these guys' heads exploding is very satisfying. I'm aware that this made me make me sound like a psychopath, but I assure you I'm not. I am simply a carnivore. I can also use this place to recharge my energy. He really didn't have a good day, or maybe he almost died and the scream was just because he happened to spill some hot coffee on himself. Ah, I see. Well, spilling hot coffee on oneself can also cause death, however, so it's good to be aware of this. Have we been in here? Yeah, wait, no, hold up. That's where the guy killed me before. Let's not go in there. Let me see, where else do we have left to go that I haven't been to? I suppose we haven't been up here. Let's go check that out. He was down on 1 HP. Well, that is, I think, working on the space station, I can understand how you would almost be on 1 HP almost every day. If I recall correctly, there is a guy down here. Oops, that was the wrong setting. That was better. I am in desperate need of some kind of medipatch or medkit at the moment. That has been the case for a while now. It's not functional. Let's see then, what else do we have left to explore that isn't life-threatening? Maybe if we go down here, there are some things we still haven't looked at. Oops. I think I'm going to use a grenade on these guys. As you can tell, the bouncing of the grenades is highly unpredictable, and sometimes all it does is make enemies angry. Thankfully, we have other means to make their heads explode. We've already been in here. Also, like I said before, please let me know if the audio levels are unsatisfying. Oh, I'm now back in the corridor with the evil flamethrower spider. I'm going to save again. So I'm now down to, I've been down to 1 HP for a significant chunk of this game. Look, it's a collection of dead mutants. Well, we are pretty much playing Pokemon with these things at this point. I am a little bit disappointed but that we haven't been able to see a view of the planet that the station is orbiting in. At some points you can look out the window and see a beautiful view of the planet of Saturn. Now we're out of energy as well. Situation is looking increasingly grim. Oh, we have at least found a battery pack. How come the place is so clean apart from the blood? Is there no dust in space? Dust is to a significant percentage human skin, so I'm guessing people are just very good at vacuum cleaning their own bodies every day. However, someone has piled about 20 human skulls in a corner here, together with some bones. I'm guessing these were here before the mutant invasion happened, so these people just had a very messy workstation. I know the feeling. My own desk at work has looked similar during some periods of time. Here's another evil spider. Or maybe it's more like a scorpion anyway. It was a dead human collection. Yes, I mean you have to be allowed to keep up with your hobbies at work, right? For workplace morale and all that. Ah, this is exactly what I wanted, actually. Let's use that right away. I imagine, I've never used a nicotine patch, but I imagine this is what it feels like. Extremely invigorating. And very healthy. Is there literally nothing in here? Oh, it's a guy with 20 bullets. That's very welcome. I'm going to save again, as the coward that I am. There we go. Given that this game is a very close replica of a game from 1995, sometimes you have some strange design decisions, like a dead end that has literally nothing in it. I know the level design in the remake is almost an exact copy of the level design from the first game. The door won't budge. Need to find a way to open that then, I suppose. Maybe like this. Ah. If I remember correctly, this place has radioactive waste in it, so I'm not going to go in here now because it's going to drain my health very fast. I'm going to have to come back here later. One of the cool things about this game is that you can, like I said before, the pacing is very freeform. You can explore things in very much your own pace, and you can take things in almost any order. That is not the radioactive trench. The radioactive trench is actually even worse. We'll come across that later if I decide to step into it. Hello. Still haven't gotten... Oh! We can actually now finally see the planet of Saturn outside of the window. Space station is spinning, which means that the planet will only be visible sometimes, and sometimes not. Let me see if I remember correctly that you can go... Wait, no, we've already been there. Took all items from human corpse. Let's see if we can continue to proceed in this direction now that we have a little bit more health and ammo. I also think that Radioactive Trench would be a pretty good name for a band. Let me see, if I remember correctly, there are some enemies down here? No, down here is the Radioactive Trench. If I step in here, I will start getting radiation poisoning and it will drain my health almost immediately, so let's not do that. Instead, I'm going to do an annoying puzzle with different colors. Okay, we need to get green light to this place, to this lower right hand corner of this little circuit board. And in order to get green light, everyone knows that you have to combine blue and yellow. Let's try to do that. Unfortunately, as everyone also knows, blue can be split into red and yellow, and red and yellow turns into orange, so that doesn't work. This is very logical if you are born in the year 2072. As everyone also knows, if you combine blue and blue, you get the color orange, and if you combine yellow and yellow, you get the color purple. I can never remember how to do this properly. I just flip these around for a bit until I get it right. Okay, one of them is now green, because apparently if you combine two colors, it turns into the opposite color. So red and red turns green, and blue turns orange. That almost makes sense. Almost. Let me see if I remember the pattern correctly here. No, that wasn't even close to being correct. Let me see. That should turn green, and this should turn orange. No, okay. So we need to get... If we have yellow here, we need to get... this will turn blue, which means we need to get yellow there as well. So we can't do that, which means the yellow can't be there. So let's try yellow here then. I think we've already tried this combination. Why even is it here? Why did someone design a light puzzle as a door opener? Well, people in 2072 are awfully bored at work, so they like tormenting each other by making regular tasks like extending a bridge exceedingly difficult. Let me think for a bit. I think if yellow goes here... Wait, what does this do? It's blue, yellow, blue, yellow. I think I got it. That's it. The green light has been satisfied. Yeah, it really needs 2 green inputs. We have now activated the extremely futuristic bridge. It is very important to have a bridge made of light instead of a bridge made of regular solid material in the future. It is very environmentally friendly to build your bridges with light. If I remember correctly, this guy has a medkit, which is fantastic for us. What do I do with it now? Ah. Brings the room together, that bridge. I agree. I totally agree. I also think it makes perfect sense how the med patches heal you for about 30% of your health slowly over time, while the med kit heals you instantly for 100. I'm going to destroy this thing now. Bye. The radioactive trench is doing a pretty poor job of protecting against the mutants. If this guy is any indication. Oops. If you want to protect against mutants, it's better to use regular bullets than radioactive trenches. I'm feeling a bit better about our situation in the game right now. We've been healed up, and we have plenty of ammo, and the soundtrack is back. To be honest, I feel that would weigh about a lot of stuff on the station. Yeah, I agree. It's like I said, the game, first version of the game is from 94 or 95 or something like that. So back then, level design was more about creating a challenging maze than it was about making sense. So you can definitely tell.
I'm one of the last that hasn't been changed yet. Mira and the others are dead. I saw them die. I think I saw Mira in one of the corridors yesterday. She had so many implants. I couldn't be sure.
I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way.
Shodan has modified the regeneration base, so they do things to you now. I'm going to try to override the cyborg protocols for the medical level regen bay. If it works, then maybe I won't die from this infected arm. It's
Oops.
throbbing and pulsing. God, it hurts.
Oops. So these guys are some kind of cyborg assassins, and they are extremely dangerous. Let me retreat and use a med patch. Heal up for a little bit. I'm going to move the med kit that we have to button number 4, so I can use it quickly in a pinch. Where are you? That didn't do anything. Well, he was nice enough to give some bullets back that I spent on him. He does drop a fancy looking gun, but it's damaged, so we can't use it, which sucks. Oops. That was unpleasant. I'd forgotten that you were here. These guys cannot relax even in death. Let me see, if I don't remember it wrong, there's supposed to be a powerful enemy here as well. Yes, there he is. I'm gonna take a trip down to here. Oh, found myself a gas grenade. Or several. Sometimes the buttons for the elevators are surprisingly difficult to find. It's like, press the blinking light, or the shining light. So everything here is shining lights. It's not super clear what is what. We can actually open this now. Yes, now we found an alternate path around back to the hub area that we used to be in before. I'm gonna save again. Oh, he fell all the way down. It is... A lot of these enemies can thankfully be stun locked. I don't know if the gas grenades actually do anything to these guys since they're cyborgs, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Okay, he actually seems to have taken a nap. That is good to know for future reference. We're now down to 48% security. I have no ammo left for the mag pulse, which is going to be a problem. This sign does a very good job of warning for evil robots that are about to appear suddenly. This guy is not as sneaky as he thinks he is. He's still pretending that he is not there. Okay, hello. That was mildly terrifying. Well, so far so good. Oh, even had a can of soda. Oh. I do think that relaxing with a cold beverage is the best way to celebrate after killing an enemy. Though I'm going to be honest and say that this soda is probably room temperature at this point in time. Oh, we now reached a previously hidden area.
This elevator serves me alone, with cameras as my eyes and nodes as my hands. I rule here, insect.
To absolutely no one's surprise, it turns out that the evil robot from the introductory message to the station is in fact evil. And we need to destroy her security nodes in order to be able to access the next level.
To all cyborg units, we are very close to sanitizing my station of the human stain. Once the tachyon mining beam is calibrated, we will begin to purify the human cities of Earth. My first step towards cleansing the planet and allowing our purity to flourish is almost complete. Their rotting corpses will provide the food for my world to
Very
grow
tasty.
and prosper.
Well, out of all the evil robots in the entirety of fiction, I think this is the most of everything. The human stain must be cleansed and used as fertilizer for our glorious new machine race that will inherit the planet. That was almost poetical. Yeah, I agree. I do think that the evil robot is probably the most famous part of this game, and one of the things that is most well known about it. I'm going to use a medipatch. I managed to find 2 of them in a hidden compartment that I had forgotten about. I don't think we fully explored this side of the station, so I'm going to keep moving forward here for a little bit. I think I've misremembered exactly where we progress here. Thought there was a way past this place, but apparently there's not. I've already been through here. Wasn't there another place? Apparently there wasn't. Right. I do suppose we have to go back all the way then. Wait, I need to go here and then through there. Okay, I get it. The human skull collection, probably a good hobby for a cyborg to have in an evil robot future. Yes, I do agree. Wait, this is the place where the radioactive waste is. I can now attempt to go in here because I now have more health to drain from. Let's hurry up though, pick up everything. So, we managed to gain 2 grenades from that. How worth it that was is debatable. And also I have to correct myself, it was apparently not radioactive waste, it was apparently biological contamination. Which is a completely different thing. Well, I seem to be stuck at a bit of a loss for where to go next. I'm going to try to find a place on the map where I haven't been. I have not been over here yet. We can put, like, I think we can add a marker there. Yeah. See if we can remember how to get there. I wasn't kidding when I said that this game has a big map, and this is only the first level. More of the game, this is the only level so far that has been released from the game, so I don't know how big the other maps are in comparison, but I imagine that they're also pretty big. Let me see... Where am I even heading right now? Yes, we have to go here and then up here. I have played this level a lot, but it's been a little while. So I might not be as... freshly up to date on exactly where to go as I used to be. I'm going to charge up some energy so we can zap some more guys in the face. Ah, right. If I remember correctly, this is a very dangerous place to go down to, so I'm gonna set this thing to fuck shit up mode. That was absolutely terrible, and I managed to drain my medkit and most of my ammo for the spark beam. This thing really isn't that good against the cyborgs. Luckily, it's kind of worth it because I'm getting a new med patch and some ammo. Getting back most of what I lost. Oh, we have another one of these puzzles, which are slightly less evil than the colored light puzzles. Here we have only one color of light, and it is yellow, which is objectively the best color. Aren't we a cyborg too? I mean, technically I think that is correct, since we have some kind of neural upgrade, but at the very least, we are not under control by the evil robot. So, we are one of the good cyborgs, I suppose. I guess in this future most people are technically speaking cyborgs, but there are, I guess, different levels of cyborgness. Okay, so that was a door that opened, but I can't remember to where. Oops. Ah. I was almost expecting more human skulls in here, but instead it is just a grenade. If you remember from the my stream of prey, you could find banana peels or lemon peels pretty much everywhere. In this game, you instead find either grenades or human skulls. This guy is also amusingly stuck in a gravity lift. We can turn it off if we want it to be lower down to rest in peace. I'm going to leave the lid up just because I feel like a rebel right now. Okay, so this place is a regeneration bay. I also like that the computer voice has a cyborg restoration line pre-recorded in case evil robots take over this place and turn this into a factory for more evil robots. I'm also not sure about what is happening to this patient, but I do assume that he is beyond saving. All stations do indeed have their quirks. I think this might be one of the quirkiest ones so far. I am going to save again. Let's see what Shodan has to say.
Directive to Cyborg F-71. Move mutagen experiment V5 to Beta Grove on the executive level. Let the virus loose in the grove and observe its effects on flora and fauna.
Collect samples
From the mutated. Kill those who have not shown progress. And we will soon have a perfected strain that will
consume the earth,
allowing me to reshape the insects in my perfect image.
I don't think this player character actually even has a name. I think we're just called the hacker. Oh, that is actually annoying as hell, because I can't detonate this mine unless I step on it. Shodan is the name of the evil AI, if that is what you were asking. I also got shot from somewhere else, but I don't know exactly where. Ah, in here. Let's use some more nicotine patches. I think that becoming addicted to nicotine is the least of our worries right now. Cyborg number or something, and I thought that maybe we had a number, being technically cyborg. I think it is, I don't think we are under, since we're not under control by the evil robot, I think we are actually, we don't have a number yet. Which is kind of sad, because it makes me feel a little bit left out. I also, speaking of space stations that have their quirks, I also very much appreciate this button that opens the door on the other side of the room. It makes perfect sense. I wonder if I can actually reach this. Hell yeah. Well, we're down to 36% security. It's getting closer. Oops. He was getting very close and personal. Want the number and a mission. We also want to tend plants and kill the ones that fail to reach the predetermined threshold. Exactly. Let's drink some soda to celebrate our dead enemy.
You are not welcomed here. Remove yourself.
Okay, so this is unfortunately the toughest enemy in the game. I'm gonna see if I can actually hit him with a grenade. Did I hit anything? No. Let me try this again. That was a hit. This son of a bitch is very tough. Too bad you can't throw skulls at it. Well, if I were a very advanced cyborg, I would probably be able to tear my own skull off and throw that, but so far my biology does not permit that kind of thing. Finally. I like that this enemy dies and then comes back up to allow us to bask in his defeat. I'm going to give this guy a bonk on the head. Thank you. Let's see, I am completely out of energy, but I do have a lot of ammo at least, so that's really nice. Let me see if I can...
Enter the room, insect, and it will become your grave.
I think this is the first time she's actually addressing us directly. So, this room houses her computer nodes, so we have managed to find a place that hits a little harder to home for her. I really don't want to waste any ammo killing these things, but I think I don't have a choice. Well, level security is down to 14%.
Who are you? The computer nodes can be repaired, but you... Who are you? My cameras and sensors scan your body, but you do not match any employee file. When my cyborgs bring you to an electrified interrogation bench,
I will have your secrets.
and you will learn more
Uh-oh.
about pain than you ever wanted to know.
Did I get him? Did I kill all of them with one grenade? That was pretty epic. Electrified interrogation bench. Oops. 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 Yes, this robot's very good at being evil, I agree. I think maybe electrified interrogation benches might be what happened to the people we saw earlier. That was on the benches. Oops. I am now almost completely out of ammo. I have 5 shots left and 1 med patch, and that's it. Well, the fact that she is so extremely evil also makes it very satisfying to break all of her stuff, which is a lot of the fun of this game. Ah, I was mistaken before. The last room was the biological contaminant room. This is the radioactive room. Let's see if it has human skulls or grenades in it. There was neither, but at least we found a battery pack. Well, we're now getting towards the end of this level, actually. Whoops. Well, pipe down. Oops. Alright. I keep forgetting, every time I do that part, I keep forgetting exactly how many of the cyborgs come after you after you're done that. So, I keep forgetting how many enemies you have to defend yourself against. Let's see, what do we have left on this level? I think this part might not have been fully explored, but I also think that's the radioactive trench, so I'm not even sure I want to explore that fully. Let's see, what else do we got? I'm not sure what else is really left here. What's that? Oh, it's this thing, right, I see. This level is now fairly empty. We managed to clean most of it out, I think. I have checked in here, right? Yes, I have. I think, technically speaking, we can leave, but there are some more secrets that I would like to show people before we get out of here. Oh! This is the second radioactive room. I am very happy to announce. So they have 2 radioactive rooms, 1 biologically contaminated room, in addition to the radioactive trench. Let's see, let's listen to the email I just got. Hold up. Media? Emails? Can I not play this?
Todd got the combination for the armory on medical. It's 705.
Ooh.
Once we're armed, some of the survivors want to head for the flight deck and escape. Others want to track the bridge. They think that if we can take Shodan offline, we can retake the station. I'm heading out to lead a group on Darcy's side. Together we will beat this.
Right. I knew there was a place to find that combination somewhere. And here we have more grenades. Mines. More soda. And 1, 2, 3 humans, 4 human skulls, although still attached to their bodies. Considering that, collecting skulls makes complete sense. There must have been a distinct overflow of human skulls due to those quirky rooms. Yes, I agree. See, that's it. I'm gonna drink a victory soda. I wonder how many empty cans you can stack in one inventory slot. I'm not entirely sure, actually. Alright, so let's see. We still have a few more areas to explore, and I think we are going in this direction, if I don't remember wrong. Yeah, we're going through... Well, we can actually go around and through here, I think. Maybe that's the closest. I think that might be the best way to go. So through here, through the... This is a room that right now has a very pretty view in one direction and a not so pretty view in the other direction. But I will have to say I'm impressed with the lighting effects that are dynamically moving as the station spins. That's really cool. I also would like to point out these people's dedication to the cause when they write resist on the wall with their own blood, presumably. Let me see if there's still something to explore in this part. Well, we've already been here, but I do recall there being more to this space. If I don't remember it wrong. Maybe across from here. Okay, that's just turning the bridge off. And we've already been in this place, obviously. One thing that is nice is that the game updates the map automatically when you go to a place, so you can always tell where you've been. So I'm not sure if that feature... Well, it was probably also in the original game from '95. Have we been down here? I think I have. We still have a lot of security cameras to take out, right? Status. You're supposed to be able to see the security status somewhere. Medical. 4%. So it's basically, I think, 1 or 2 cameras that we haven't found. Let's see if there's one that I have discovered on the map. There is not. They're marked in orange. That's a little annoying because it means that we have like one room that I haven't found yet. I'm about to be eaten, but first let me write an inspirational message to a possible survivor so that they know that getting eaten is something they should resist. Well, maybe these people have some trouble memorizing basic information about their own survival and need some reminders every now and then. And also am very happy because I think I found a place that I hadn't found before. Oops. I keep getting scared by that every time. Do we think there's a guy here? There's a guy here. So I think level security is now down to 0, right? Also, we have double batteries. Yeah. That is actually great. So, the reason why turning the level security down to 0 was so important is because it will help us unlock a special room. And I'm going to go there now if I can. Let's see, it should be in this direction. Kind of, maybe. Yes. My fatigue levels are very high, so let me just use a little pick-me-up. I have now restored all of my stamina. So, if I remember correctly, there is a wall here that we can now open. And here is a secondary hidden armory. There's no sign, there's nothing, it's just a hidden room in the station with a dead guy inside it. And a new weapon. This is like a bigger pistol. Let's see if there was anything else. I think that's it. Let me just put this on. We can put that on 5 instead of the mag pulse. Haven't used that in a while anyway. Okay, so we're about to end this level soon, but I do want to show you what this gun can do before I do that. So let's go back to a place where I know there will be some enemies. I do have to commend the soundtrack to this game. It is something that I know fans of the original game have kind of complained about it a bit because they think it's unfaithful to the original, and I can understand that, but I also think that in and of itself it is extremely satisfying to listen to, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. Let's see, I think we can go this way. Might be the closest path to get back to where I want to be. So we're now back where everything started, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this place is filled up with some more guys. Hello? I don't have time to waste more than one bullet for each and every one of you. Enjoy some heads exploding. That is very satisfying, I have to say. Right. So, security has been reduced to 0, and that's really the only mission objective we have for this place, so now all we gotta do is go to the elevator and end the game.
Packer, Rebecca here. It says here that you're listed as employee 2-4601.
Oh.
Diego provided that cover to you, and the neural implant.
We do have a number.
In exchange for what? The keys to Shoda? Not hard to put 2 and 2 together regarding the current state of the station. Tri-Op authorized a deal. Help get the station back under control, and you get a clean slate. But, looks like we're partners now. And if we play this right, we can work out what Diego wants.
I prefer a quiet station. Thank you.
Well, we can't have a call without being interrupted by an evil robot. So that's it. That's the demo for System Shock Remake.
Look at you, hacker.
And now we get a trailer for the full game.
A pathetic creature of meat and bone. Panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect immortal machine?
Did the stream crash? Hold up a second. My stream looks like it crashed. Did it? Yeah. Hold up a second. Hello? Am I still... Can you still, like, hear me? I think the stream might have crashed or frozen. Apparently it didn't like showing that trailer. Yeah, okay, so the game crashed. That's what happened. Well, I was done anyway, so that was fine. Can you still hear me, by the way? Please let me know in the chat if you can still hear me. Hold up a second. I'm just going to check this out. I'm sorry about the technical issues. At least it was kind enough to wait until the very end of the stream. The very end of the game. Okay, cool. I can't see the stream when I'm trying to look at it. Did I disappear for a while there? Okay, so the stream seems to load very, very slowly. I don't know exactly what happened to it. Something is very strange. I've dropped a few frames, but it shouldn't be that bad. Okay. Well, like I said, we were at the end of the stream anyway. So this was a bit of an experiment. This is a very unusual thing that I did here. I have no idea how this panned out. I have no idea what you thought of it, so please let me know. Let me know on Twitter or through other means what you thought of it. I enjoyed it a lot. I like I said, I very much like the atmosphere of this game. It is very, very special, very, very strange. So I hope that this was somewhat enjoyable. I never tried anything like this before, and if it was super annoying, I'm not gonna I'm obviously not gonna do it again, but I hope that people got something out of it at least. When the full game is released later this year, I'm going to stream the entire thing. I'm looking forward to that so much, but I'm probably not going to do that in this relaxing ASMR format. I'm probably going to do that as a regular stream. So I'm hoping that you will be there for that as well. Okay, so to everyone who was watching me today, I want to say thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the stream as much as I enjoyed playing this game and streaming it for you. And like I said, if you want to give me some feedback, you can do that. Wait, I think I can give it. Yeah, I just need to move myself out of the way a little bit. Hold up. 1 second. There we go. You can have some links on screen here to my Twitter account is at RacerWireSC2. And I also have, it's also worth pointing out that the YouTube channel will have this VOD up later, maybe tomorrow probably, if you missed any part of it and would like to see the rest of it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sorry. Let's bring up my schedule. Tomorrow is not going to be a stream, but on Friday I will continue my Dishonored 2 challenge run, which is something that I is the most excited for out of all the streams this week. So I really hope you'll be there for that. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this very strange and unusual experiment from me, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. Have a great evening and take care.